to fuck Beyonce and Rihanna. We'll see which one of those things happen first.
All right, right back at it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Keyboard Warriors Live, presented by KShopPress.com. Eddie Law for Kirby. Coming off UFC 299. I just did an hour with Jay Anderson about it, and you know, he was there for fight week and all that. You know, detailed how crazy it was. You know, the Miami crowd showed up. Ecuador showed up to Miami. It was pretty nuts. But we were just talking a second ago. UFC 299, you could say it delivered pretty well. After a lot of talk of Sean O'Malley can't sell pay-per-views or he can't draw or whatever, whether it was a card or him, it ended up being a pretty good night. What'd you think?
Well, I'll tell you what, he'll draw after this if he didn't.
Yeah.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure the pay-per-view did good, but if it don't, he'll draw next time. I mean, yeah, the pay-per-view did great. We were just saying before we went live, I mean, it was fantastic on paper. So, like, a lot would have had to go wrong for that fucking card to suck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it went really well. It was a fucking probably one of the better cards that I've seen in a long time, to be completely fair. Overall, I mean, none of the fights really disappointed.
Yeah, no,
I can remember.
I mean, I think maybe people might have booed like once or twice in a couple fights, and that was it.
And to be fair, the crowd, when crowds are that overzealous, it's a good thing because they're fucking shot out of a cannon and they're cheering, and that's great. Goddamn cocksucking Trump's in the building. I mean, it was fucking lit. But it does. They do tend to be very impatient when they're that lit. Like, son, I think they were booing in the MVP fight for a minute. That fucking fight was great. And listen, I'm not far. I will fucking boo bird your ass, Jack. I will fucking throw you out a quick boo. But, like, that fucking fight was good, man. It was a fun fight overall. It was very entertaining. What the fuck?
Yeah, right. Just like you said, overall. And then, you know, Chito Vera drew a ton of people. Freaking, they did. I don't know if you noticed. They did the media day. He did one with, you know, just normal English, Spanish, whatever, and then they brought him back for a second one because it was so much media from Latin America that he had to do a second scrum in just Spanish. And so, which is cool. It's, again, if you're a Spanish speaker, you can go to our YouTube and find it on there if you want to go back and see that. But man, Sean O'Malley whooped him, dude. That was just clean, like clinic, straight up.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was in Miami, so the Latinos fucking showed out. So you know, shout out to fucking Cheeto for getting that love. But if they all due respect to Cheeto, if they were in fucking Nebraska, I don't know if it would have necessarily swung the other way, but I don't think there would have been so many Latin Americans there. So, but it fucking is what it is. Yes, Sean O'Malley looked fucking amazing. I don't want to be a fucking cunt, but he looked so good that I'm almost rethinking Cheeto getting the fight. Because, I mean, you could definitely make the argument that Cheeto didn't necessarily deserve the title shot. Marab definitely deserved it. You could probably have plugged Corey Sandhagen in there before fucking Cheeto, too. I know they have the history. Hindsight's 20/20. But goddamn it, us having hindsight now and watching Sean O'Malley tattoo fucking Cheeto's face for 25 fucking minutes straight. Did you fucking see Cheeto after the fight?
Oh, he's fucked up.
He looked like he got stung by a bee when you're not supposed to be stung by a goddamn bee. You ever seen a fucking dog get stung by a bee? If you quit watching, I've never seen that. Google it. See what their fucking face does when a dog gets stung by a bee? That's how Cheeto Vera looked after that fucking fight. Now, one of the toughest pricks next to Max Holloway we've ever seen in the fucking octagon. But yeah, he got his ass lit up. He had a few moments, but listen, when you're that goddamn it tough, you're going to have a few moments. When you can eat shots like that, you're going to land a couple here and there. It's fucking inevitable. But he got his ass lit on fucking fire, Jack.
Lit the fuck up. It was just like you said, that's the best way to put it. When a dog gets stung by a bee or whatever and their whole face blows up, that's exactly what Cheeto looked like. And, you know, it's a shame he, you know, all these people came out and he ended up losing because they would have been a crazy pop had he won. Like, had he won the title last night or Saturday night, they would have been insane. The arena would have been crazy. Probably the streets would have been nuts too. But Sean O'Malley, it takes the win. And it just felt like, all right, cool, you know, we're good, we're done. Do you think Sean O'Malley, do you think this fight makes him a superstar, or are we still waiting?
No, it doesn't make him a superstar. It doesn't hurt any goddamn thing. I think he will gain a lot from this. Hell, even me as a hardcore fight fan, I ain't mad at that. I think he showed a lot in this fight. I mean, he looked really fucking good. Yeah, maybe Cheeto was a little overmatched or maybe a little outmatched in the striking department, what have you. But fucking O'Malley looked really fucking good. There was a ton of hype around this fight due to the fact that it was in Miami. It's $299, right on the heels of fucking 300. Like, there's so much shit going into it. There were a lot of eyeballs on this event, and he performed very well. In order to be, in my opinion, in order for it to be a star-making performance, you have to have a real rival. And don't get me wrong, and the Cheeto had the first fight that had some weird shit. They were getting a little mouthy, but the reality is Cheeto just didn't have the resume and the backup. Quite frankly, I don't think Merab has it. Not if we're talking real star. Right. I mean, I'm not using that word lightly here. I mean, look, Sean O'Malley already a fucking star. He's a star. You know what I'm saying? But if you're talking about that fight where it's like, you know, they got this motherfucker on the Today Show tomorrow and that sort of shit, you need a real rival, man. Anderson Silva didn't really have that until he had Vitor Belfort in Brazil, where it became this fucking, you need a real rival. But I think that's all that O'Malley's lacking. He's got everything else, right? Good looking kid, fucking crazy, very boisterous, very outgoing, shoots his mouth off, very fan friendly style, understands social media and the internet in a way that I don't think most champions actually do. I mean, he's got all the fucking makings of a real superstar. Now, listen, people are mentioning Conor McGregor and shit. I think, not to be a fucking the resident Conor nut hugger, but no, but I'm serious though. I think people sometimes undervalue what Conor did and the way in which he did it. Don't get me wrong, Sean O'Malley's off to a great start, but I wouldn't quite call him the next fucking coming of Conor McGregor. He doesn't quite have a nation behind him. But
do you think Merab Dvalishvili is that guy? That's that other guy, that rival that he needs?
Listen, I don't, but I could be wrong. I don't like Rick Ross as a rapper.
That's a comparison.
I think he fucking sucks, but yet he has a house bigger than fucking I couldn't kill 10 men to buy a house that big. So I don't think so, but people tend to really like Merab. I think he's a goofy little European prick, to be honest with you, but like people dig it. I think he's quite boring in the octagon. I've almost become a bit of a casual these days. If you ain't in there slinging leather, Jack, or really getting after the subs, I tend to doze off a little. But it seems like people are really into Merab. The grudge match will be there. I don't quite know if it's that fight. I tend to think the Illy fight. Now, again, I'm talking like star making. I think, you know, if he beats Merab and Illy gets another win and maybe they do that one, that's where like the world really starts to sort of take notice, I think.
No, I think you're right about that. Like Merab wins, Ilya wins his next one, and I think you can have a rival. I think they both will be smart to start talking about each other quite a bit.
Well, and even then, though, to be fair, I will say, I don't fucking love this whole. Listen, the great Anderson Silva dabbled at 205, and those are the things that really made us appreciate his willingness to dare to be great at that time.
Right.
But Anderson didn't fucking dabble at 205. Now, I smoke way too much fucking weed, so I don't exactly remember, but he had quite a few fucking times. He went to 205 because he had done whipped everybody's ass at 185.
Yeah.
He didn't have like, you know, this whole we're going to defend the belt one time and then I'm going to fly it. Like right now, Islam looks really tough at 55, but there's no reason for him to fight Leon. I can't stand either one of them as champions. Why the fuck do we have you guys have a super fight when neither one of y'all are super?
Right.
I mean, you're both. I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, Islam's the man. They're both good, but it's not like they're bringing fucking massive pay-per-view buys to the fucking counter. These super fights need to be worked up a lot more. Do I think that Ilya Topuria and Sean O'Malley could end up being a massive fight? Yeah, but they need some wins, man. They need to sort of bark at each other. I think sometimes we get to that shit a little too quick these days with the whole super fight shit. Like, dudes need to really earn that shit to move up and fight for that other belt, man.
Do we have like that the super fight fatigue is what I like to call it? Super fight fatigue, where it's like, you know, moving up, moving down, all this other shit. Like, I want to be champ, and all that. Well, are we tired of that shit?
I just feel like it's lost its luster. Again, we've been watching the sport for a long time. When Anderson moved up to 205 first, he fought James fucking Irvin. And let me tell you something. We all got nervous. I dig that Volkanovski is good enough to just fight Islam. Mm-hmm. And the first time he fought him, it seemed merited because the fight was close. Yeah. Though the second time he fought him, it was sort of like, this is why you don't just skip the line. You got fucking thunder. And now listen, you could say that it's because he took the fight on 10 days notice. And maybe that is the fucking case. He also got fucking stretched out by Illy not too fucking long after that. So who the fuck knows? If he had 3 months, that head kick still might have fucking happened. I think you just need to earn it. And so it needs to build up and matter a little more. I'm being a little fucking contradictory because when Conor did the shit, I didn't give a fuck that he was leaving featherweight. But again, I think you had to been there. That was a different thing. He was on a fucking rocket ship to the moon. Not to mention he did starch out Eddie in that fight. So it was fucking a little bit merited. But I think in general, distance makes the heart grow fonder. If we're doing fucking super fights every other fucking weekend and everybody's got 2 belts, it no longer, now we're waiting on somebody to get 3 belts. Having 2 belts ain't even fucking impressive anymore. We've done it so goddamn much that now it's like, he's a double champ. She's a double champ. Who gives a fuck? Who's a triple champ? It's enough with it already. Defend that belt, and once you've cleaned everybody out, then like even when Izzy moved up, it was sort of like, okay, let him go 205. Fuck, he done whooped everybody at 85, a couple of them twice. But I mean, goddamn, Illy won. Illy seems dope, but he won 1 fight and he's already, listen, keep your funny ass right there at featherweight for a couple fights, my guy.
Real quick, about an hour ago it broke. Vito Petrino will take on Anthony Smith at UFC 301 on May 4th at Rio. Yeah.
I mean, if I knew who the fuck that first prick was, that might matter.
Vitor's a motherfucker, dude.
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's the guy that hits like a fucking truck. Definitely worth watching. 100% worth watching. Anyway, sorry.
Anthony Smith. Shout out to Lionheart, but
I don't understand. I don't understand why everyone keeps. I mean, I guess he's a gatekeeper and shit at 205, but damn. All right. Yeah. So and then co-main event on this one was a nasty, gnarly finish there. Dustin Poirier, Benoit Saint Denis. A lot of people picked BSD coming in. He's he's the up and comer. He's got a lot of steam behind him and shit. And then Poirier puts him down. The asterisk in this one, okay, because we had Jay Anderson there for Cage Press in Miami covering it for us on location, and he sent in his his weigh-in photos and all that, and I noticed on BSD's head was like a dot. It looked like a cut, right? And I was just like, staph infection. This is weird. So anyway, fight goes down, and BSD loses. Poirier gets a knockout win, and then information trickling out now on social media that BSD was on like antibiotics, he had an infection, and I'm like, well, fuck, there goes that. Regardless, the result does not matter. The result was what it was. Is Dustin Poirier back in the mix for a title shot, do you think?
Well, I mean, listen, it's hard to argue that he's not. I mean, if Dustin Poirier gets a fucking win at 55, he's in the mix. I'm not saying he's next in line, but fuck yeah, he's in the goddamn mix. There's no fucking denying that. Let me also say this. Look, if you're trying to train while on antibiotics, I'm not fucking suggesting that doesn't change things, that it won't change your fatigue level. You're not going to be able to train as hard. So if he had staph and he was on antibiotics, that definitely matters. That being said, bullshit. bullshit. Bro, you was winning the fight until he fucking thunderstruck you with a couple right hands. I don't give a fuck if you had the goddamn HIV and a goddamn fucking bad case of the clap. When Dustin Poirier takes his right hand and thunderstrikes you in the face, I don't give a shit if he had been training for 16 years. You can't let Dustin Poirier punch you that hard in the face or you're fucking going to sleep. I don't know if I'd say Poirier's punching power is underrated, but I'll say it fucking is nothing to be trifled with. Right. Like, Conor McGregor's a very easy person to make fun of because of who he fucking is. But taking all that away, he has a very strong chin. Dustin Poirier is the only cocksucker to put him fucking down like that. Like, Dustin Poirier hits hard. So for all of me, I'm not going to say it didn't matter at all. But when you let Dustin punch you like that, again, for all of me, he was winning the fight up until that point. So if he had won the fight, will we still be like, oh, well, but he would have won it a lot more if he didn't have staph?
Right.
Nah, bro. You had staff. You still looked fucking good. You was winning the fight when y'all were in them grappling stages. You're a sloppy striker. Well, I'm sorry. Let me be very, very accurate. Your striking defense is sloppy. And when you get at the fucking top levels of 155 with a guy like fucking Dustin Poirier or Justin Gaethje that can crack, that will cost you. He cracked you 3 times, twice to put you down, and then another one just to kill you with fucking pinpoint accuracy. You cannot make those mistakes with Dustin Poirier. It don't matter what the fuck the previous bullshit was. Like, when you get socked like that, all the other bullshit, I don't give a shit if he hadn't been able to run and his fucking knees were hurt or his big toe. Like, when you get socked like that, none of that other shit really mattered. In that moment where you lost that little striking exchange, that was the whole fight.
There you go. And actually, I think yesterday or today, I can't remember. I want to say it was yesterday or today that Dustin actually tweeted out to Islam, like, "Hey, Islam in June," and Islam, quote tweeted and saying with a handshake thing, like, "All right, let's do it." And people in the conversation were like, "No, brother, you gotta wait for so and so." He's like, "No, I'm not. I'm tired of waiting. I want to fight." So maybe we do get Poirier Islam. We'll see.
I ain't mad at that. That's a listen. Very winnable fight for Islam. Very tough fight for Islam. Make no mistake about it. Very, again, y'all, you just seen, you got to be very careful with Dustin Poirier. You can beat that dude. You can out wrestle him, but you got to be very careful with him because he's very tough. He's very scrappy. And as we were reminded of fucking Saturday night, he hits real fucking hard. Real fucking hard.
100%. And Islam will stand with Poirier a lot longer than Khabib did, right? When he fought with Khabib, whenever it was going to the ground, Dustin would go back. He would flatten himself out on the cage. He did not want Khabib Nurmagomedov on his back, right?
Those are the subtle differences that change outcomes of fights.
Right.
I agree with you. I think Islam. I also think Islam is a better striker than Khabib, 100%. But I think sometimes that might give Islam just enough false sense of security to think, well, I'll come out and strike with Dustin and get your motherfucking monkey ass thunderstruck fucking with Dustin Poirier. You know what I'm saying? You might need to take that Khabib approach and put him on his back, at least for that first round or two. Get a little gas out them guns because, man, dude can fucking crack, bro. And at 55, like, you do not want to get hit clean by Dustin Poirier, bro. He'll put your fucking lights out.
Another striker on the card that made a hell of an impression. Mind you, he might not have put Kevin Holland out, but he damn sure made him look silly and confused the entire fight. Michael Venom Page comes in, gets his UFC debut victory. First of all, coming out with the Undertaker gimmick on the walkout. He put on an entire show. What did you think of Michael Venom Page's first UFC fight?
I loved it. Good shit. Again, like the walkout shit. I see people who are like, what sort of an unhappy cunt do you got to be like, I didn't like that walkout. I didn't like it when the bell was tolled. He acted like he was the Undertaker. I mean, it ain't got to be your cup of tea, but you see certain pricks that are like, shut the fucking fuck up. You don't got to love it, but at the very least, it was funny or entertaining or whatever the fuck. Same thing with Michelle Panetta or however the fuck you pronounce that prick's name doing the dance routine. Like, there's people actually bitching about it. God damn, shut the fuck up. If it would have took 5-10 minutes, I get it. He danced around for 30-40 seconds. Dude had like a minute where he fucking walked out with the Undertaker theme. What I can't fucking stand the crybabies in MMA sometimes with that fucking bullshit. But yeah, great first performance by MVP. Listen, it doesn't inspire confidence that he's going to come in and take the fucking belt, but I think at this point, that's not necessarily what we're expecting from him. I think if he does even get a title fight, we'll all be sort of slightly surprised and maybe excited or whatever. But yeah, I'm excited for MVP. Like a lot of high-end talent that make it to the UFC later in their career, I think we're a little late. I would have liked to see MVP in the UFC like 5 fucking years ago or 4 years ago, but we'll take what we can get. I think at the very least, we're going to get some fun fights out of him. I think that is the important thing with MVP at this point.
Yeah.
Fucking matchmaking. For the love of God, don't fucking give him some fucking boring ass wrestler. And I'm going to tell you another thing. I can tell you right now, all you fucking dicks out there can see it. Give him Wonder Boy. Give him Wonder Boy. For fuck's sakes, do not give him goddamn Wonder Boy. We all know what happens when two counter-striking dicks fight each other, right? They sit there staring at each other like that goddamn Spider-Man meme. No, keep those two pricks away from each other. Let's just for the fucking belt. Let him fight fucking an aggressive striker. And I don't mean necessarily just somebody to so that he can win, but just, let him fight somebody that is going to make an exciting fight for MVP. I don't need to see him get out grappled by a fucking D1 wrestler. That's stupid. I don't want to see him stand around with a fucking super hard counter striker like fucking Wonder Boy. And then be like, oh, I thought it was going to be the striking battle of the millennium. Come on, guys. Don't be fucking dicks.
I'm trying to see if they rank them off of that one because Kevin Hall is number 13. Oh, they haven't updated the rankings yet. All right, but I thought that for sure. I feel like he's gonna be like number 15 or some shit, but we'll see. Like it was a fun debut and everything. And he looked a lot like Lyoto Machida, in and out. A lot of people were like, "Why is he running? Why is he running?" I'm like, that's the style of fighting. That's karate. You go in, pop, 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 get the fuck out of dodge. You don't want to stick around and get countered. So, it was expected. I thought Kevin Hall would have immediately been like just crotch sniffing, just diving for legs, looking for takedowns and shit. He didn't even try to do that. He tried to strike with Michael Venom Page, and by the time we tried to take him down, it was too damn late.
Yeah, so, that's sort of exactly what I thought that fight would look like too, though.
Yeah,
I thought Kevin Holland would test his. And to be fair, I thought it was possible that maybe Kevin Holland clips him because as great of a striker as Michael Venom Page is, and I know he's only been finished once in his career. And I'm an MVP fan. Fuck me and shout out to Aaron. We've interviewed MVP years ago on fucking Stand Bang Radio, years and years ago. So I've been a big fan of MVP for fucking years. Matter of fact, a little fourth wall break too. That was the first guest that I ever personally booked for that show was MVP. So, but I've always been a fucking fan of dudes for years. I just wonder. Again, I feel like it's a little late coming to the fold. I wonder exactly what his ceiling will be now. Yeah,
36 years old. Who knows what's going to happen? He's got maybe a couple of years to make a run. And I can see him honestly if he gets another fight and he wins. I can see them, him getting bumped up to a title fight depending on who's the champion. But outside of that, who knows what's going to happen?
I think he's at least 2 fights away from he's a couple fights away from a top fight. But I do think. If he wins, if they give him another fight, obviously it'll have to be somebody a little higher ranked than Kevin Holland. If he wins that fight, especially like in a finish, I think we'll be talking about a big name. I don't know how big, but we'll be talking about some sort of name.
No, yeah, we'll definitely be up there. All right, let's see. We got we talked the main event, the co-main, Michael Venom Page. What other fights stuck out to you on this one? There's a lot of fights, honestly, that were really good. But if we talk about every single fight, we'll run out of fucking time.
Just quickly, what was the next fight down the ladder?
What was JDM, Jack Della Maddalena with a knockout.
That was So all right, look, I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. Jack Della, I'm just calling him Jack Della. Fuck off with that Maddalena bullshit. Jack Della fucking better be lucky that Gilbert Burns sweats like a fucking whore in church. There was a couple times those first couple, at least like in round 2 in the beginning of round 3, I think, where they got, I know for sure in round 2, they got a couple grapple exchanges where it looked like Gilbert was low-key fucking schooling Jack Della, but he was sweating like a son of a bitch. What the fuck? But shout out to Jack, man. Again, it was a lot like the Dustin Poirier fight in that I felt like Jack was basically losing the fight until he wasn't. He was losing the fight. There wasn't a flying knee or just a knee. He landed something and it fucked Gilbert up. And then he followed him down and just started landing some guy. I mean, again, like it was sort of Gilbert was winning the fight. And then he gets fucking, 1 or 2 strikes later, he's in trouble on the ground. And one thing I will say and definitely slightly different situations because Jack actually got on top of Gilbert and finished with some like ground and pound. Dustin just sort of landed one more bomb, but the accuracy of their shots landed on their opponent once the opponent was on the ground is fucking impressive and more importantly, violent. When Jack got on top of Gilbert, son, he started fucking just listen, if he didn't land, position was about to be fucked because he didn't give a shit about position. There are certain guys that it's position over submission and position over landing a hard-ass strike. And then there are certain guys that get down there and just, old school John Jones shit, just throw it on. If it lands, you're fucking hurting. And it did. Jack fucking stopped that fight. Same thing with like Dustin. Again, he didn't get on top of him, but that last shot that he landed on fucking Benoit Saint Denis when he was on the ground was just like fucking accurate and brutal. Again, like I think certain motherfuckers, land that shot when their opponent drops. They don't necessarily attack them, and maybe they don't want to blow their load.
Right.
But I feel like, bro, there's something about when a motherfucker sees blood in the water and they just fucking attack the shit out of you. Those cats are dangerous, man. And I think that fucking old Jack Dela definitely has that. He's got a finisher's mentality.
100%. Speaking of a finisher, Curtis Blades did what I didn't think he could do. I think he was gonna be able to beat Gerald Almeida, and he fucking knocked him out. Those hammer fists were nothing nice, dude. And he was trying to like reverse position and shit for a minute, trying to get an underhook, and then at some point he just says, "Fuck it." Bow with the fucking those hams for hands. I mean, the only other velocity he has is that when he blew his knee out against Tom Aspinall. You think he's there up there for a title fight?
Well, let's not get crazy. I mean, he's not quite, but I mean, he's close though. Yeah, he's close. I mean, if we didn't have Aspinall and John Jones and Stipe and this whole like sort of mess right there, he'd definitely be up there for sure. Right. That was a really good win. To be fair, I thought he was going to lose that fight. Not only did he not lose it, but he fucking won it emphatically. He's a fucking big, strong prick, man. There's no getting around it.
Yeah. Sorry, real quick. I take it back. I'm fucking mixing up my fighters. Tom Aspinall blew his knee out against Curtis Blades.
Oh, right.
Tom Aspinall,
right.
He did lose again. Blades lost against Sergey Pavlovich. That's what I was thinking about.
Right.
He took the TKO, lost to Sergey. So
right.
Yeah, so I think he's straight back up there, but you're right. Who knows? Right now, everybody's waiting for John.
Right. The top of heavyweight's clogged a little bit, but I mean, look, that was a big fucking win for him. It puts him right in the discussion again in the proverbial fucking mix, if you will.
100%. What was the other fight that I want to talk about in this motherfucker? You have any other fights you want to touch on before we move on?
What else? What was that? That opened the pay-per-view. What else do we have? Who else do we have? What the fuck?
Petr Yan. And Petr Yan opened the pay-per-view. Yeah, Petr Yan, Sonny Dawn. Interesting, but as even though Petr won, I wasn't impressed whatsoever. And people were giving me shit for batting.
Right. Fair enough. The tall Taekwondo prick, the 6'8" prick on the undercard that got the quick knockout.
Oh, the heavyweight, this guy.
The heavyweight guy. Yeah, this guy.
Rebellis.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there ain't a whole lot to say. He's fucking 6'8". He's massive. He's a gold medalist, fucking winning Taekwondo fucking prick. So he looked really fucking good. I will say he definitely seems like a diamond. What the hell the fuck do you say that word?
Diamond in the rough.
No, a dynamo.
Dynamo. Yeah.
He's a fucking dynamic striker. Like that motherfucking dude is a big dude and strikes with a lot of fucking power. When he knocked old boy out, he was basically on the back foot. Like he didn't put nowhere near as much power as he has into that shot. Like he clipped him, but like he can fucking definitely strike way harder than he put homeboy out with. So an interesting name to keep an eye on in the heavyweight division for sure.
Absolutely, especially coming out. He's first of all, he's 35 already, so he already came out and said, like, look, man, give me a top 10, top 5. I don't care. I need to get to this title shot today, like as soon as possible. And we didn't get much of a sample size. The guy's got like in the last like 2 or 3 fights, like 40 seconds total cage time. Ridiculous fucking number. Like, dude, what in the fuck? We don't know shit about you, but now we're excited to see what you get next. So I definitely want to see him in there with another knockout or another guy with hands to see how it goes. And then what was the other fight? Fucking look, I like Matthias Gamrot, great grappler, wrestler, what do you want to call it. I was more impressed with RDA at 39 years old, still doing it like that, dude. He almost had that fight won. Yeah,
I don't like watching Gamrot fight like that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't. It was a good performance by dude, but like I don't like watching him fight. To be fair, I just don't. Impressive performance by Gamrot. Shout out to him. He needed that win to keep his high rank in the division. RDA's a bit long in the tooth, to put it mildly, but nonetheless, shout out to Gamrot. Good win. Boring fight. I ain't like it.
Fair enough. All right, and then we're not talking about it. Georgia Calderwood retired. What else happened? It's kind of it, man. Like, overall, UFC 299 delivered, and we're all sitting here waiting for fucking. What's up?
Well, I was just going to say, I don't want to fucking get political, but make no mistake about it. Your next motherfucking president was sitting in that building. You see that prick came in? He might as well be a fucking rock star. Listen, Yo, bro, you just said it, right? It's a pro Cheeto crowd, right? We in Miami. Trump got the loudest pop of anybody. Now, Eddie, you got to speak for your people. They be telling us that Trump got a large base in the Mexican and Latin communities. I be thinking it's bullshit. I tell you what, Miami went ham for Trump the other night, Jack. I don't know whether because they was just UFC fans or what, but that motherfucking building erupted. All jokes aside, it's definitely, and this is not a fucking political podcast. I'm not going to stuck on here. Only reason I'm talking about is because he was in the building and the fucking the place did pop for Trump. But side note, unless Biden cheats, Trump is going to smash that damn dude. To be fair, I don't think it matters. Trump, Biden, you better go out and get you some money. If you're an American, that means you're free enough to go make you some money. You need to make you some money. That's all. That shit don't matter. But like, I'm gonna be shocked if Biden actually beats Trump. And I seen the little thing he did. Let me tell you something, Jack. They had Biden on methamphetamines. He ain't been that fired up in a month. The same shit that they had Hitler on. God damn it, that's what they have. That's what Biden was on the other day when he was all shot out of the cannon. He ain't that energy. I ain't lying. They had caffeine pills and methamphetamine.
I tell you right now, we're picking between two old geezers that wear fucking diapers and shit their pants constantly. You're right. I'm fucking both. I don't even care. And honestly, I don't even pick teams. But I'll tell you what, right now, Trump, you want to impress me with your little pop showing up at the UFC? Should have gone to Anaheim, bitch. Go to California, show up at that event. If you get a pop there, Biden lost that night, 100%. But
listen, I wouldn't put it past Trump. That motherfucker's been going to a lot of UFC events too, and that's all joking aside. I think that's why he gonna fuck Biden up. Biden gonna be sitting around doing fucking Zoom calls and shit, and Trump gonna be out there motherfucking shaking. And Trump probably on the cocaine too. Trump probably on the drugs too. Trump probably got some special pills that keep him all pepped up because he's 97 years old too. But Trump be out there shaking hands. Bro was in the building for one of the most lit events in Miami. Bro, you know what Biden was doing at fucking midnight Saturday night? Fucking snoozing. He had just drank some warm milk and he's in bed like a baby. And I don't even fuck with Trump. I'm just saying these are facts.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's, fuck. Picking between two turds again. Anyway, all right. Back to the fighting. Actually, let's get into more crazy, stupid shit. Okay, no. We'll go stupid next. Go ahead. What do you want?
Speaking of two fucking turds.
Go ahead.
Let's just fucking go right to it. Shout out to 299 before we get off of that. 299 was a good event. 300's coming up. The UFC's been fucking the UFC got some fire coming up. Boom boom. Jake Paul apparently is going to box Mike fucking Tyson. And I gotta tell you, since this fucking shit has came out, it's been driving me crazy. Because hey, you know when a fight's big, especially as a fight fan, you know when a fight's big, because all your dickhead fucking casual buddies go, hey man, I'm getting hey man, you hear fucking Jake Paul's going to box Mike Tyson, which it fucking, okay. We've talked about this a lot, right?
Yeah.
How old you are matters a fucking lot. And for me, it's starting to matter more and more when we discuss this shit. Like, if Jake Paul knocks out Mike Tyson, you will be able to say out loud, you will be able to make the words with your mouth that Jake Paul knocked out Mike Tyson. And for all intents and purposes, you would not be telling a fib. You would be telling the truth. But perspective is fucking important. Context fucking matters a lot. Did he knock out Mike Tyson? Yes, he did. Does it fucking matter? Not even a little bit. Like, knocking out a 57-year-old Mike Tyson when you're 27 doesn't fucking count. I understand that Jake Paul will probably get a big bag off of this fight. And listen, any 27-year-old man that can get $10, $20 million to box a 60-year-old man, you won the game of life, my guy. But this is a lose-lose for you. If you come out and destroy Mike Tyson in the first round, listen, to be fair, there will be some morons out there that go, oh, Jake Paul knocked out Mike Tyson. He's so tough. But anybody with fucking 10% of a functioning brain will understand that Mike Tyson is 60 fucking years old, guys. I mean, son, when fucking Uncle Randy came back at 42 or whatever and beat that goddamn big dummy Tim Sylvia up, that was pretty astonishing. 50 fucking 7, 842, boys. The great fucking George Foreman making that late fucking mid-90s run, coming back and getting the belt from fucking Michael Mercer, whoever the fuck he beat. Your early 40s is not your late fucking 50s, guys. And listen, I'm not even saying that Mike don't fuck around, surprise Jake Paul, and knock the dog shit out of him. But I'm saying if it does go the other way, it could not be more relevant. And I was actually just starting to fucking like Jake Paul a little bit because he was at least fighting guys that box. He was like fighting guys that he should be fighting if he was trying to take being a real boxer seriously. Right. So again, all things being equal, I'm not going to be a cunt because he's going to make $20 million to beat up an old man who happens to be named Mike fucking Tyson. But again, let's just be real fucking clear. If you could get in some magical fucking unicorn's asshole and shoot out a goddamn magical beam that made Mike Tyson 27, he would fucking kill Jake Paul. If this fight was in any way fucking fair, Jake Paul would be play that fucking Undertaker music. Boom. That's what they'd be playing at the end of that fight if fucking Mike Tyson was actually 27, son.
If Mike Tyson was 27, this fight wouldn't be happening. So, because Jake Paul, you know, he for all the things he is, he's not a fucking idiot. He knows exactly what the hell this would be. Well,
I was now that being said, obviously the actual logistics of the fight being a real fight or whatever are fucking just about the sickest thing I've ever fucking heard of. That being said, I am intrigued and curious about how many people. Okay, so there's a couple things. I was going to say how many pay-per-view buys it does, but let's talk about the second part of this fight. It's not on pay-per-view. It's on Netflix. Fucking Netflix.
That's massive. No one thinks, and no one's talking about it. It is massive.
That's a whole other fucking thing in and of itself. But I wonder just, I guess, how popular this fight will be. Will this be the most watched combat fucking like match of all time? Will this surpass Manny and Floyd just because of the amount of reach it has? Boy, if anybody from Netflix ever watches this, I tell you what, if you like boys, I'll suck your dick if you put me on Netflix. The platform that they have, you could be a fucking loser. But if they put you on that platform, you've got like 120 million people. And if they decide to push your product, if they decide to put you on that little front page that everybody comes to, it's a fucking game time, boys. Like, this has the potential to be the most watched fucking fight ever, and almost solely based on platform alone.
That just depressed me even more, dude. Fuck. Like, that's a great point. Just the fact that it's on Netflix, you're gonna get a bunch of people to tune in.
Do we know how many fucking subscribers Netflix has? You're great at the Google machine. Put the Google to it. How many? And I mean worldwide, not fucking America, not Latin America. How many fucking cunts a month are subscribed to Netflix? If Netflix really got behind this fight and decided to,
at the end of 2023. Netflix has more than 260 million global subscribers and annual increase of nearly 30 million subscribers. So 260. Okay. It's a lot.
Now do me a favor.
Yeah.
If you can, Google most watched combat fight, sports fight of all time. Now I know the most pay-per-views is what, like 4.2 million? Something like that with Floyd and Manny. Maybe some of the other fights, maybe the Ali fights back in the day had a higher reach. I don't know.
Let's see. Mayweather Pacquiao.
Now they were the biggest pay-per-views.
Yeah. 4.6 million. Mayweather McGregor 4.3 million. Mayweather Hoya 2.44. Tyson Holyfield 1.99 million. These are all buys though, so I'm trying to figure out.
Well, right. So unless we're missing something, unless there was when boxing was on network cable and it was maybe there's a different number. This has the potential to fucking blow that number out of the fucking water. Am I missing something here? Like if let's just say it's 5 million. Let's just say it's 5 million. Hypothetically,
bro, yeah,
that's going to get fucking crushed by just people browsing Netflix. No,
just out of pure curiosity, the fact that it's available it's not gonna be extra. They're not charging extra. Like they might raise rates. They might raise the rate before or after, whatever. But it's included in your subscription. 260 million. How many of those are gonna be just people like, fuck it, I have it anyway, let's watch it. It's gonna be nuts.
That's without one person subscribing to actually watch this fight, which there'll at least be 100,000 or a few, maybe more of those that actually subscribe to watch the fight. Sure. Just with what they got on the platform, 260 million. That's insane, dude. That's insane.
I really want to see the number afterwards if it ever happens. Like low key, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope something happens, they just cancel it. But out of the fight itself. But if it does happen.
I find it extremely intriguing. If this is the case, I think the UFC's deal with ESPN is done like this year, right?
Yeah.
If anybody could actually match ESPN, it's Netflix.
I wonder if someone else will come up. Like somebody's trying to create like a super streaming platform, like Disney, Fox Sports, and somebody else are trying to come together and create this giant one. If they get done in time, the UFC could look at that too. They're gonna have a gang of money to spend.
Yeah, because that's crazy. That's a lot of eyeballs, dude. And the Netflix and UFC coming together, because again, a Jake Paul fucking Mike Tyson fight will bring some subscribers to Netflix, and there will probably be some overlap anyways. But if the UFC goes exclusively to Netflix, holy shit. That will be fucking insane.
It'll be crazy. Absolutely. All right, let's see
what that fight fucking sucks though. Just to be fair here, just like all things being equal,
the fight itself is gonna suck.
The fight itself is fucking bullshit. I mean, and again, to be fair, just because Mike's so goddamn old, man, age fucking matters. You can't just be fucking 65 and us be like, oh well. And again, he does look good. He looks real good. To be 50-fucking-7.
Right. 100%. All right. Let's see. The other fight that we want to talk about before we get out of here, because we're 44 minutes. The other fight we want to talk about before we get out of here is Francis Ngannou getting fucking flatlined. Like, did you think of it as like MMA took a loss, or you just like, well, fuck, what'd you expect to happen?
I put on my little Instagram story when I probably shouldn't be admitting this. I got my Instagram taken last night. Maybe allegedly, I might have put that final fucking finishing blow on my Instagram story. And when I put it on there, I said, well, at least order is restored in the universe.
Sure.
For all of me, and I don't give a fuck what nobody says. I don't give a fuck what happened. I don't give a fuck what Tyson Fury said he did leading up that fight. This is what should have happened in the Tyson Fury fight.
Sure.
And that's knock. It's no knock on Francis. It's just this is what was bound to. If Francis had come out and knocked out Anthony Joshua, I for one would still be it would be baffling. It shouldn't happen.
Right.
It just shouldn't. Even if one of those cats came to MMA. If this fight was different and Anthony Joshua was fighting Francis Ngannou in MMA, Francis would obviously have a way bigger advantage and be way more of the favorite. But let's be very clear. That would just be because he can wrestle Anthony to the ground and beat him there. If they were forced to go bare knuckle box, I'd still put all my money on Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
So Anthony Joshua could still surprise Francis even in an MMA fight, in my opinion, quicker than Francis outboxing Anthony Joshua. That's what makes what Francis did against Tyson Fury so unbelievable to this very fucking moment. Sure. That's the only thing about this fight that's weird to me. Anthony Joshua knocking Francis out like that makes perfect sense. Shout out to Francis, got the bag, but that's exactly what's supposed to happen. The only question I have now is what the fuck happened in that Tyson Fury fight? Was Francis just having the fucking night of his life? Did Fury? I mean, because this was supposed to happen. I tell you what, And I see a lot of people doing this now, like Anthony Joshua is the baddest man on the planet. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. He's still the dude that got beat twice by Alexander Usyk and starched by that fat Mexican Anthony Ruiz. He's still that guy. Now, that being said, he's still the guy that has the potential to be the best boxing heavyweight on planet Earth. He's got all. I mean, look at the fucking guy. But him knocking out Francis don't mean fuck all about Anthony Joshua in boxing. Right. This was what was supposed to happen. That is exactly how that fight was fucking supposed to go. Shout out to Francis for getting past the first round, because that's what these are elite heavyweights, man. That's if this is the, again, my only question now is just what was that first fight with fucking Tyson Fury about? Was that all Tyson Fury just not training, or did Francis just have the best night of his life? Because again, I don't think that Francis had a bad night. I'm not about to be like, oh, well, if Francis would have just worked his jab, bro, Francis couldn't have done fuck all for that not to happen to him. No. Like, let's all be very clear about that. Hopefully, people are like, oh, well, maybe he can do more boxing. Bro, he's got a lot of money. Francis, I hope you learned your lesson. Take your big ass back to that cage.
And that's the plan. Take it on Renan Ferreira and the next PFL pay-per-view, whenever the fuck that's going to happen. And then, of course, the other thought I was going to say, like, if he's going to go back to boxing, he needs to have a couple years off of it, in my opinion. Take a couple years off, train it, take MMA fights. In PFL, there's really nobody that's – I mean, I know Ferreira is a big-ass dude, and he's got a lot of power too, but there's not really a lot of guys in MMA that are going to beat, for instance, Ngannou, not in PFL anyway. So I think just go back, do that, a couple years off of boxing, and then come back with some skill, and then hopefully Deontay Wilder's still boxing.
Listen, man. Logan Paul fought Floyd to a decision.
Jesus.
Anthony Smith fought John Jones to a decision. Yeah. I feel like when people really are like, man, this damn dude ain't got a shot in the dark, they fuck around and can surprise him a little bit. There are even people out there like Logan Paul looked kind of good against Floyd. Man, like, what the fuck? Clearly, because Floyd wasn't taking that. Floyd takes that seriously. He'll beat Logan Paul to fucking death. Like, let's just be very clear about it. Like, I don't know what happened to their little boxing exhibition, but if Floyd wanted to, he'd beat Logan Paul to fucking death. I don't give a fuck about Logan Paul's size. And this ain't Jake Paul. We're talking Logan Paul. What the fuck? Like, Floyd beat that boy to death. So I got to imagine that, and I almost feel like, I tell you what, I almost feel like Tyson Fury owes Francis Ngannou an apology. You fucked around and gave that motherfucker the wrong idea. He walked in there doing that bullshit with fucking Anthony Joshua and almost got killed.
He's need to apologize for lying to him, letting him think he could fucking box again. Like,
and all of us. We all, listen, to be fair, we all went in thinking, well, say, Jack. Come on,
we were wrong about Francis.
I was sitting there like a motherfucker, like, come on, Francis. Talk about it, AJ. What we gonna do with it? And man, he got the shit beat out of him. And afterwards, I'm like, okay, what the fuck was I thinking? I don't know what that first, but okay, of course this is what the fuck was I thinking? Of course this is what the fuck was gonna happen to goddamn Francis Ngannou boxing Anthony fucking Joshua. What the fuck were any of us thinking?
Yeah, it is what it is, man. That's the thing about combat sports is you never fucking know. But like you can definitely, have a win, kind of bump you up into another payday or another big fight. And then we find out, I hate to use the word fraud, but we find out you weren't really that dude to begin with. You just kind of got lucky. So.
Yeah. I don't want to say lucky, but like I think a lot of things went right for Francis to look so good that night. And Anthony Joshua brought us all back down to earth.
Yeah. All right, man. This weekend, UFC fucking Apex, I think. Taito Ibazik is marching to Tabora. This is the card that's supposed to be in Saudi Arabia that the Saudis were like, nah, fuck all that. Send that shit back. And Dana tried to say
money. You see what kind of money the Saudis are spending, bro. Y'all better come on. Then I seen they were talking about Izzy and Hamzat. But I'll be honest with you. Again, I don't want to be a fucking racist and fucking insinuate anything about no Saudis or any kind of bullshit like this, but I don't fucking love Saudi Arabia having such a stronghold. They pretty much bought golf. They're buying boxing. Here they come fucking getting into MMA. I don't love that they're just sort of buying sports and shit. They're like, fuck it, we got so much money, we'll just go ahead and buy it. Like, how much does it cost? Yeah, for the whole thing, PFL. Yeah, we'll buy it. What is it?
That's the thing about PFL though. It's just like they threw money at PFL like a motherfucker for that PFL Bellator card. Like you can imagine what kind of money they'll throw at the UFC for a pay per view because it's gonna be pay per view later this year for sure.
Right,
It'll be Islam, whoever the fuck.
That's what they want. That's what they want.
Yeah.
They want that high end fucking really. And all joking aside, bro, they're moving mountains to get boxing shit done. So that will not work in MMA. Those mountains do not move in MMA. You will not. I've seen PC people say, well, they could actually do John. I mean, listen, I know they could do, like the UFC could do John Jones versus France, but let's be real clear. That ain't happening. The UFC will not do that. And I think, again, I don't blame them. I would never do that either. All due respect, especially not with Francis Ngannou. Shout out to you for getting the bag, but motherfucker, I ain't never doing business with you again. Fuck, like I ain't about to pay you another $10 million now. I'll let John Jones fucking die in his contract before I let him fight you outside the UFC, bud. No fucking way.
But my earbud just fucking went out. Give me 1 second here. That's fucking wild shit about MacBooks, man. They fucking. I opened my phone for a second and someone texted me, and all of a sudden these went away. Give me 1 second here. Oh, fucking Christ. Why the fuck is it not working?
Can you still not hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now, but it's
okay.
1 second. I'll fix it right now. Hold up. Come on now. Don't be stupid. There we go. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you are. All right, cool. All right, just in time to close the show. Anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here?
No, I think that's the important shit, right? We got 299. We got the two major fucking boxing matches, or the one announced and the one in the books now. I think that's it, right? For massive news until 300. These next couple UFC events, like you said, fucking Tai Tuivasa and Marcin Tybura. Good Lord. Again, you know, if you're watching the fights, cool beans, but like, you know, go do some drugs, kids. Go get some pussy, get you some dick, go have some fun. Don't stay home and watch Marcin Tybura and fucking Tai Tuivasa fight in their panties. For fuck's sakes, go have some fucking fun. You can always we can watch that later, right? You can take that. You skim through this one, boys and girls. Watch on Twitter, see who knocks who out, skim through it, and go have a good Saturday night. Because listen, there are going to be events like 299 and 300 where you're like, fuck, sorry guys, this Saturday night I can't do shit. So this Saturday night coming up, take advantage of that shit. I'm going to try to. I'm going to go do some fucking drugs and look at my bitch's pussy through a lens.
Yeah, so now I got a family this weekend too, so I'm not even going to watch it. You know, so you
catch the highlights. With an event like this, you catch the highlights. You're doing just as fine.
100%. And then March 23rd, Amanda Ribas against Rose Namajunas in the main event in the Apex. Co-main event, Peyton Talbot against Cameron Simon. And then Billy Q's back. Yeah. After that is that fucking UFC Atlantic City, New Jersey. Card headlined by Aaron Blanchfield and Manon Ferrero. Co-main event, Chris Weidman against Bruno Silva. Alonzo Menefield against Carlos Ulberg. And it doesn't really get much better after that.
Sounds like we got 3 weeks, boys, of going out and getting your prick sucked and fucking doing the drugs, because all that shit sucks. Shout out to Rose Namajunas, but the rest of that was some bullshit, Jack.
4 weeks, bro, because April 6th is Marvin Vettori against Brandon Allen at the Apex with Morgan Shearer and Choi Sung Woo in the co-main, which guaranteed. Exactly. Norman Dumont's will be in that card, and I think it was what's her name?
Laura Dumont got a donkey on her, don't she?
That's who said that shit. Someone said that shit. Laura Sanko. She was like, she got a dump truck.
She got a donkey on her. I remember that. I don't remember what the whole fault was, but I remember she got a donkey on her.
Then April 13th, UFC 300, that card. Dude, media day for that one. Gabriel Gonzalez is going to be there for K-Chat Press. And that media day, they having everybody. Every single fighter on that card will be at media day. That's how stacked that card is.
So basically, kids, we got about a month to play.
Pretty much.
You got to the 13th of next month before anything really matters. I mean, to be fair, all 4 of these cards coming up sound pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. You can follow both of us on Twitter. What the fuck we're calling it? I'm at Gem City. Wow, Gem City.
I'm never gonna call it fucking X.
Me neither. And I'm at Ela32 on Twitter. Shout out to everyone tuned in at KChat Press on everything, KChatPress.com. Love you guys. If you sat around for these 2 hours of podcasting, I appreciate you, but I am cooked. So I will catch you guys in the next one. We will catch you guys in the next one. For myself, Fred, Kirby, the entire team at Cage Press, we love you guys. Good night and good night, Wilshire.